Welcome back to Just the Tip with Mike and Aisha. Hopefully you've seen my before and after photo. I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about the 3 years that it took to get there.
You too can lose 30 pounds in 3 years.
Yeah. So actually it was about 10 months. I used MyFitnessPal, recorded everything I ate, all my exercise, and just kept my calories underneath what the recommended amount was from the app.
So we're going to be talking about his weight loss journey, which really wasn't a weight loss journey. I would say it was a lifestyle change. And then you've been vegan for 2 weeks, and I've been vegan-ish for a week. So let's get into this.
Yeah. So everything started 3 years ago when we went to Posado's Animal Sanctuary.
Wait, can I say something?
Yes.
So I'm sick, and I just know that my voice sounds hella sick and nasally. And Mike was like, no one fucking cares about that. Like, no one listening to our podcast is going to be like, yeah, your voice sounds weird. You just sound like you're speaking softly. And I'm like, excuse me, I just want to make it known that I never speak this soft. I'm very intentional with my voice and my words and my tone. I'm sick, and at least one person will care.
Okay. So I just laid down my tiny violin. I'm going to put that down.
Thank you. Okay, so we went to Posado's 3 years ago.
We went to Posado's and decided after that we were going to cut down on our animal product consumption.
Because of your friend, Ashley, who works there at the time. Mm-hmm. She invited us to come, and we went and did like a tour with her, which was outside of like the general public going in. And it was eye-opening to see all of these animals that they've been rescuing from different types of situations. But they have pigs, cows, chickens, goats. I was shocked the goats were just like puppies. They were like playing with dogs.
They're just like dogs.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like change. That was like a very pivotal moment for us. And we started reducing our meat intake immediately after that.
Yeah. And then when I started 10 months ago trying to lose weight, the animal product consumption went down for me just because foods with animal products in them have a very high calorie count. So it's easier to eat a lot and get full if you cut out animal products. So my animal product consumption did go down. But then 2 weeks ago, I was like, fuck it. I already live kind of animal product free. Why don't I just cut out the remaining bits and I'll see how it goes. So
and
2 weeks.
By saying kind of animal product free, you had already done entire days or multiple days of being plant-based.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a new concept for you to go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
You over 3 years went from like 0 to 45 to 60, like up like that.
Yeah, so it's been a slow progression, but the last 2 weeks have been fine. And I want to just talk about kind of what we've been eating to help out anyone who may be like nervous about cutting out certain animal products or they don't know what to do. So some things that early on were a help was I used to drink milk by the gallon.
Which is so fucking gross.
Into my mid-20s, mind you. Then I discovered almond milk and was like, I don't need milk anymore. Like, almond milk's fine for me. For yogurt, there are cashew yogurts now. And
almond milk
yogurts and
oat milk
coconut.
yogurt.
Oat milk and coconut. I can vouch for the cashew yogurts are delicious, and some of the coconut yogurts are delicious.
And you use it with yogurt, fruit, and granola. However, the way that I've been using it is in place of sour cream on like a sweet potato.
Yeah. You use the almond milk plain yogurt
it was amazing.
in place of sour cream, and like I think it's disgusting, but it does kind of mimic sour cream in a way.
It was perfect for me. And so taking like a baked sweet potato. If you have any roasted broccoli, some garlic, you put that on the sweet potato, and then using the almond milk yogurt as sour cream, salt, and pepper, it was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. So one thing I think, and I've been vegan-ish, which means that for the last week, I have only had animal products for 2 meals out of 7 days, and one meal was a breakfast sandwich that had Spam on it in 2 little egg patties, and that's from this cute little Hawaiian place by us. And so I had that, and then today for lunch, we went into Mod Pizza. Shout out to Mod Pizza. You can get a pizza with as many toppings as you want for like $10.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's fucking amazing. They have gluten-free, they can do vegetarian, vegan, everything. So anyway, we went there tonight, and it was so hard, but I had to add a few pepperoni, and I did like a fraction of the amount of cheese as I normally would. And that was it. So I've been veganish. Mike made it clear to me today in Whole Foods that I'm not vegan. He's like, you're just not. And so I'm like, whatever, dude. Veganish.
No, then I realized that like we can't. Okay, first of all, neither of us are vegan because we still have leather shoes.
We're both plant-based.
Yeah.
What is this consensus on that? If there's anyone vegan who's listening to us or plant-based, which are you? Are you vegan or are you plant-based? Is it a lifestyle? Is one just food?
I think vegan is a lifestyle. Like no products that rely on animal labor. But we have leather in the house. So anyways.
Okay, so when we say vegan, we mean plant-based. So just in case it's triggering to you, trigger warning, we may use it.
So, but what I said to you in the store is you were like, you basically were like, am I still vegan if I eat cheese today? And I was like, well, you're not. But then I was like, like we're not perfect people. Like we can't always do the thing we're trying to do. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get on this whole thing.
He said that after he judged me, though, for the record.
And mind you, I've done this for 2 weeks. So, like,
and honestly,
let's
you guys,
pump the brakes.
He's saying that to be faux humble, but like, I looked at the podcast notes that he typed out, and I literally was like, you are one of these people who your high horse is so high up in the sky, and you're like, I lost the weight, I changed my life. If you don't like the way you are, it's your fault. It's like, it sounds like it's going to be one of those
Mind you,
spiels.
I didn't write any of those things down.
I'm going to take a picture.
None of that was written. None of that is on there.
Okay, so all of that is to say, I think something that people get wrong when they're transitioning into a plant-based vegan lifestyle is trying to swap meat or cheese for fake meat, fake cheese. I think that there's a lot of recipes that you don't even need to add the meat. Add beans instead or something that will kind of fill you up. But I think that that's why a lot of people don't like the food that is vegan, quote unquote, or vegetarian, because they're chasing the taste of meat.
Yeah, and
instead of exploring this whole entire world that exists.
Yeah, or they'll try to make a meatloaf out of beans, but it's like, don't try to make a meatloaf.
Well,
like,
I mean, I saved that recipe and sent it to you, which
no,
is why it's front of mind. So
we're
still gonna make that.
But like, you just change your mindset. You don't need to. You get the idea out of your head that you're going to eat a big piece of cheesy something.
Well, also, you should already know how to cook some meals. I mean, you should already be cooking some meals. I think you have to be able to cook. I think that you should already be experimenting with reducing your meat intake, your animal product intake. I think you should try a day of doing it, and then 2 days.
Not even that. Literally, just make a meal and don't have any animal products in it. Just go one meal at a time.
Okay,
like one meal, 1 day a week. Say, I'm not going to have any animal products in this meal. And then you might find, like what I did is my breakfast all of a sudden had no animal products in it. Then I could get my lunch to where it had no animal products. And by that time, I was like, okay, I might as well just make my dinner no animal products, and then I'll have the whole day, and now I'm 2 weeks.
And mind you, 3 years ago, we switched from smoking meat in your smoker to smoking sweet potatoes. So we had already started swapping out stuff. But I think if you don't know how to fucking cook, you're going to hate being vegan because you need to know how to fucking cook. We are very fortunate to live in a city, Seattle, where we can get a ton of vegan options from restaurants, from food trucks, and from our grocery store. It's not that difficult to access food, and I understand that that's a privilege. Also, you may not be in a position where you can really afford to go vegan, which is unfortunate that the healthier option costs more.
Yeah, I mean,
it takes a lot.
You can buy more calories in meat than you can buy in other things.
Well, there's also disparity between the types of groceries that are accessible in certain communities. So certain communities, unless they're doing like a community garden, they literally don't have access to stuff. Yeah. So it's not set up for you to have success in this.
Yeah, you need to have a certain level of accessibility, privilege, money to be able to do it and not be in too much pain.
Right. So we still haven't tried the like vegan cheese. I honestly have never heard a good thing about it. I have no desire to try it. The cheese I like is with wine and usually crackers, and so
what I did,
I'm not gonna get a fake one.
What I did at Mod Pizza today was I had a crust with sauce,
cauliflower crust.
Yeah, and pizza dough also doesn't have animal products, so pizza dough is fine. But I did just the crust, sauce, and I did a ton of veggies, like every single veggie they had, and it was delicious. And so that's a way to do mod pizza without having animal products. I went to Jimmy John's on Friday.
What's your hack for ordering at Jimmy John's?
So Jimmy John's, the hack is they have a veggie sub, and you just make sure you don't get mayo on it.
Yeah, but you can't have Dijon mustard or mustard, one of the regular mustard.
You can have mustard.
Okay. Okay, so something that I think is interesting is a lot of people who go vegan, it's very easy to be at a calorie deficit, but also be malnourished and not getting things that you need. So I think that a multivitamin is very necessary. A lot of things we saw when we were doing a little research were deficiencies in B12, deficiencies in iron, and protein. And so it's not to say you can't get all of those things being plant-based, but you need to be intentional about seeking them out because some of the other things you just naturally ate had stuff in it. So Mike, what are your tips? Because you've figured out how to hack all of those things.
Well, for B12, vitamin B12, I was already taking a daily multivitamin because the last time I went to my doctor for like my annual checkup, my vitamin D was low. So I was already taking a daily multivitamin, which includes my daily iron, B12, and vitamin D. So I have those covered, like because like the B12 is the thing that you can kind of only get from animal products. And then
you just bought a protein powder that's really good.
Then for protein, on days where I haven't had enough, I do have some protein powder that's plant-based.
Sidebar, just so people know how not a protein powder person Mike was, he put it in a cup. And he got a fork and was like mixing his fucking protein powder. And I literally had to open the drawer and get a ball, like the little metal ball out. And was like, no, you need to like shake this up. And then this dude had a cup and a fork.
I was whisking
protein powder.
It was not working.
It wasn't working. So that lets you know that he's brand new to this.
Yeah, brand new to protein powder.
He's not true to this yet.
Yeah. And then calcium is another thing that I was a little worried about getting enough of. But turns out I do enjoy almond milk and I do enjoy Raisin Bran. That's what I forgot to buy at the store today. Damn it.
I almost asked you if you were going to get the cereal.
I know,
but
I
then,
meant to.
Well, then I thought, oh, you have a whole box up here. You don't need that.
So it turns out some processed foods are fortified with calcium. So literally all I need to do is eat some almond milk or some cereal or whatever or bread, and it's fortified with calcium.
Okay, so the top foods that we have found are great to always have on hand because they do well with
These should
mixing.
always be in your house. Not all of those on that list.
Well, yeah, I think...
Well, no,
Go ahead.
They're a different list. Okay, so potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I love russet potatoes.
Russet potatoes are just like, no.
I make fries with them. And
you make french fries, but sweet potatoes are like phenomenal.
Sweet potatoes are great. They're multi-use. Keep sweet potatoes in your house. Keep beans.
I would
rice.
even say canned beans because it's just easier.
Oh yeah.
And when you want to have you want to set yourself up for success. So there are some things that you can go the quicker route with accessing.
Like go for convenience.
Yeah.
Don't make it harder on yourself.
What kind of beans have we been adding? Black beans and pinto beans?
Yeah, but today I bought white beans, kidney beans, and black beans. So that
oh my God. Can I just say how gassy you may be when you switch? I was like hella gassy this last week and I just, it's been the worst. But then something that I read was to drink even more water than you normally drink. So it's like leveled out.
Also, I had diarrhea after like day 2 of no animal products. Like straight, I had diarrhea for 2 days straight.
Okay, and what was your hypothesis as to why you thought that was the case?
My hypothesis. And then it went away and my poops have been regular. My hypothesis is that there is probably bacteria in my gut that survives on animal products. And when it didn't get any more animal products for a couple of days, the bacteria died. And then I had diarrhea because when the bacteria in your gut dies, you don't digest food as well because you rely on them to digest your food. So I had diarrhea. Then the bacteria that was already in my gut that flourishes on plant matter grew back in place of the bacteria that eats meat products. And so after just a day and a half of diarrhea, I think the other bacteria in my stomach that relies on plant products grew back in place of the meat bacteria, and then I had regular poop.
And trust him, he's a nurse.
Yeah, I mean, none of that is science-based, though.
None of that's science-based.
That is all out of my ass, literally.
Okay. So then also couscous. There's a really good brand of couscous. I don't know what it is right now, and our
Far
house
East.
is... Okay, I was gonna say our like kitchen setup for podcasting is so squeaky that I can't even fucking get up
We
right
can't
now.
move.
We literally can't move. But we used to use the Parmesan couscous, but because we're not doing cheese or dairy, we've switched to the curry couscous.
Yeah. And vegetables.
I mean,
We always
vegetables.
We always like to have
We
broccoli,
always have broccoli,
carrots. Now we're doing a lot of
Brussels sprouts.
yeah, and squash, zucchini. Learning how to saute eggplant.
Shishito peppers are also really good.
Peppers.
We are experimenting. We grab bok choy, which I feel like you probably have cooked with it before.
I already know what to do with bok choy. Yeah.
Okay, I know. One of us is from here. The other one is not.
Have a bag of spinach in the fridge.
Oh yeah, spinach always. Iceberg lettuce is, or no, romaine hearts. That's kind of nice to chop up. You keep it. Oops.
A new thing for me too is, well, I've always enjoyed kimchi, but I've actually bought a bottle of my own kimchi and put it in the fridge now. Just because it's like a delicious way to if you have anything involving rice or couscous, throw some kimchi in it and it's just delicious.
So I didn't like kimchi, and then when I got my grain bowl last week from PCC, this is like a shameless plug for PCC. They have a whole grain bar where you can build your own bowl. It was bomb. So I went there and I built my own bowl. And when I came home, I saw your kimchi and I remember you raving about it. And I just was not a fan of kimchi. And I added it to the bowl, and the flavors blend perfectly, and it like brought the food to life without needing to add like a sauce or a drizzle or anything else. So I am not a kimchi fan, but on like a bowl, and it was perfect. The texture, the flavors, it was really good.
Yeah, because one of the sauces that I like has mayonnaise in it, and so I did cut that out. It's like one of my favorite sauces. It's the spicy mayo. Like that you get at sushi restaurants.
I fucking hate watching him add that to every plate for dinner. You have 3 sauces that you put on all your food: barbecue sauce, the spicy mayo, and there's one more. Oh my god, I don't know what the last one is.
It kind of rotates, but lately it's been mustard.
Ugh, it's just like it's like watching a child with their 3 little like sections of sauce, and you usually don't use all of them.
I'm a sauceman.
Okay, and then so chia seeds is what we've added this week.
Yeah, we just bought some chia seeds because like 2 tablespoons of chia seeds has 5 grams of protein. So
really
we're gonna
nice.
Experiment with just tossing that into and on top of stuff.
So I think it's a good time to wrap it up and just say, like, why did you decide ultimately to change your lifestyle?
So, I mean, for my lifestyle, it was mainly I just didn't like the way I was looking. You encouraged me to stop eating potatoes every day. And then I was like, I'm going to show you potatoes are good. And then I started looking at every calorie I ate. And turns out potatoes were fine, but I also started losing weight. So, but what really
you changed your
drives
eating
me,
within 3 days of being in the presence of data.
Yeah, data helps.
You're a
me.
very logical person as well. So maybe if you find yourself to be a more logical person, I think having the metrics and tracking may resonate with you in a way where you identify where you have areas for improvement.
Yeah, I mean, just having a number in an app that I could look at that told me if I can eat more that day or not helped out so much.
Okay, so I think that you wanted to change you wanted to not eat as many potatoes, you wanted to look different.
No, I wanted to keep eating potatoes. It was to prove to you that I could eat potatoes and still be healthy. Okay, but I'm going to speak specifically to trying to cut out animal products. I see that there's many reasons, and I kind of categorize them into what animal products do to you, what do they do to the animals, and what does it do to the environment.
And we're talking about the way in which they are produced in this year 2019.
Yeah.
So we're not speaking about how it can be better, it can be way better. We're not speaking to how it was done 150, 200 plus years ago, because it's all different now. So we're speaking about right this moment.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think it's perfectly natural for a human to eat another animal. I'm not on that kind of boat yet. Like, I think it's, hunter-gatherers, humans survived on animals for a long time. But the way we're doing it today is really fucked up.
The planet's dying. It's a shit show.
The way we do mass animal production
it's
is
actually
disgusting.
Fucking disgusting. And the fact that most people can't stomach watching a video or a documentary looking into it, but it's ridiculous.
It's illegal to record the conditions. And there's a reason. Environment, animal production is proven to be bad for the environment. I'll leave it at that. someone
Yeah.
else look at the science on it, but it's bad for the environment. Ethics, I don't think the way that we're treating and housing the animals that we eat is ethical. And then health, there's lots of, the science is really bad for plant-based people right now because a lot of it hasn't been done. But the little teeny studies that have been done, I'm going to remind you, they're small ass studies. There has been shown benefits of reversing heart disease. And what do people die of in America? It's heart disease. Number one killer across the board, heart disease. It's definitely our food. It's got to be our food. It's got to be the amount of animal products.
Well, food and environment. But
food environment, but I mean, the food is probably a huge factor in it.
Yeah. You're in control of the food more easily than you
and
are
almost with a little bit of science that's done, almost the only thing that actually reverses like plaque buildup and your cholesterol is dropping animal products out of your diet. So that's one reason to do it for your health. And then another way that I like to think about it is what's the most powerful thing in the world?
Money.
So
shmoney.
Dropping animal products is a way of protesting with your dollars. Your dollars are the most powerful thing you have. And if we could all successfully take a chunk out of the way that mass meat is produced, we could at least, make our voices heard.
So Mike is challenging everyone this week to go plant-based for one meal.
One meal. Just one meal. That's it.
Out of one day.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear your feedback and hear what you think. If you want to join my challenge, I'm being vegan-ish. So my main goal is to be plant-based 4 out of 7 days of the week. If I can do more, that's phenomenal. But really, I'm striving to the majority of the time be plant-based. So for me, that's not a couple of meals out of the day. It's really full days. So it's been going great so far. What I've noticed is really not feeling bloated. And that's been nice. And I think it's just a little more planning to have meals ready to go. Trader Joe's has a ton of options. Whole Foods has options. PCC, Safeway, Met Market. There's so many options if you're local in Seattle. We have a bunch of restaurants that we found. I'll add those in the description. Also, go and look at this before and after photo of Mike and comment on it and let us know what you think. For me, being your partner, I find it very inspiring. Your discipline. It's funny looking back at photos. I can't really tell because I couldn't, you carried your weight in certain places. And so I know your faces always kind of look the same. But now it actually looks different and you are extending your life, which means I need to make sure that I extend my life because I'm already older than you. But it's been really cool to see. So I hope that if you have something that like a task or if you have a goal in mind that you want to achieve, this year is coming to an end. And I think it's an awesome time to just start today, start tomorrow. Just make it a point to say, I'm going to make this change. I'm going to start small. But we have noticed some amazing benefits to going plant-based. And I think it really is the way that we should do it. And we're doing this shit before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is next week and we are plant-based. And
yeah, we'll let you know how we get through the holidays with family get-togethers.
The only thing I really want on Thanksgiving is like ham. But everything else I think I can eat.
No one's perfect. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
Have a margin of error that you're comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
Because in modern America, it's hard to boycott things because we live in a world that you require convenience.
Yeah.
So have grace with yourself. Have a margin of error that you're comfortable with. And for your one vegan meal, literally just think through your head. I guarantee there's already something that you really enjoy for a meal that doesn't have animal products. And just do that. Do the thing that you already eat that doesn't have them in it. And then say, hey, I did it.
Yeah. And also hit Mike up. He has recipes that he's been testing out. So maybe he'll start posting a few of them. Who knows? He used to shoot videos of himself making like ice cream and like cooking up clam linguine and stuff. So you don't really do it anymore. No. But no, this has been awesome. Thank you all for listening. We're really excited about these changes. And we hope that through us sharing our journey, ups and downs, transitioning to being plant-based, that you can find some inspiration. And if we can inspire you to also take the plunge, it'd be awesome.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.